part 2 of collective energy from the fairies, new moon. So we got to the 10 of swords, which is a little bit high, you know, sabotage, wounded from being, I don't know, stabbed in the back. That's what it, you know, wounded. It could not just be from people or places, but it could be past wounds. And then 5 of cups. And then at the bottom of the deck, we had the 10 of cups. So from the 10 of swords to the 10 of cups, it's almost like a complete and utter timeline jump from, I don't have anybody in my vicinity that is likely to stab me in the back, to I fill my own cup. Everything in my life fills me with joy. That's people, places, things, the way I think, the way I move, everything I do during the day. It can represent marriage, but it does represent this whole feeling of I have 10 cups and I have filled them myself. Balancing the divine feminine, the divine masculine inside. 10-10 is a wrap. I'm going to move on to the, and I'm sorry this is in 2 parts. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble getting these messages out. Well, I do. Because empowerment is the most powerful tool that we have. The Princess of Cups. I've got a new cup. I'm holding it in my chest. It's the beginning of falling in love with something, someone, but in the divine feminine space, maybe it is like a childhood dream or a childhood something that made me feel, or anyone, really happy, and it's the beginning of, I've got this new cup. I'm going to bring this new cup in the princess right up to the queen. I'm going to keep filling it and filling it and filling it. And it could be something that was lost and found. It could be that cup that emptied out on the floor there, that she's just found again and picked it back up. See, all the leaves are falling off the trees, like it's almost, and it is red, so it's root chakra. So it could be something that was lost and found as a child, and is being brought back up for us to work with again. To you know, go in, do the healing, get another wand, become the queen of it, and then take it out into the world. Brand new idea, fire energy. Temperance was the card. This fell out. 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords and the 3 of waiting for our ships to come in. There's 3 seeds that I threw out, and they're just starting to grow, but I'm waiting patiently to see my manifestations come to me, because we don't chase, we create. When I manifest anything, I put my hand on my heart and I say, bring it to me. And that's what he's doing. He's waiting patiently. We do the inner work, the shadow work, and then we get into, it increases our ability to be able to tune into our third eye, to work under the moon, to work in the shadow, to know, to see without seeing, to know without knowing. And 7 of Swords, I got this card yesterday and I was like, oh, you know, what does that mean? And the High Priestess, beautiful Jess, sort of made me understand it a bit better. It's kind of working behind the scenes and using mental agility, maybe in secret because it's night time, to plan what it is that he's doing. Now, she called this like the feast. And if you've had people around that have Ten of Swords you kind of get to know, there's 7 of those swords there, you kind of get to know the energy, or you can feel the energy when somebody is, like I say, being in the flow, a moth to a flame. They want what you've got. But with this, there's 2 sides to this 7 of Swords, and one is like obviously manipulation and you know, strategically planning, but that can also be used to stay in this temperance energy, working at night. Where am I going to go? What's going to be my next move? Not in a, you know, in secret. Like, I'm not going to share everything I'm doing. I've just got my quill out. I'm going to write about it. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those swords are standing up, and 3 of them are lying down. So it's after a period of being heartbroken and healing, but actually learning to recognise this 7 of Swords. That flew out on the floor, and it's the Wheel of Fortune. So when we have like the 10 and the 10, 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups, it's a completion, it's the end of a cycle, and we would expect that with the new moon anyway, and especially in Scorpio with it being the Death card. And then the Wheel of Fortune turns. It has no option if we're prepared to let go and get into the flow of energy and release anything that leaves us feeling in this 5 of Cups, not being seen, not being heard, not being valued. I'm just going to go with the flow. Then the wheel has to turn. So yeah, Ace of Pentacles at the bottom, and again, sometimes I see this like this little spiritual gift that's just going to land in our laps, or we've learned something new through like going into this 7 of Swords, and the dog's barking in the background, and the wolf is howling. It's like this, I've just learned this new skill, I'm gonna take it into the world. Here's a new pentacle. It's like a gift. It is a gift, and they come in so many forms. 8 of Swords, 7 of Swords to the 8 of Swords, working hard in the middle of the night, planning, you know, what's my next move. And the 8 of Swords is in the mind space. It's not being able to see, and it's a feeling of being trapped, but it's an illusion. And these cards, you know, if this is people outside of yourself, these are illusions. These are like, we are never stuck. We can always move. It's this mental thought pattern of saying I can't when you can. We're not trees, and it's changing that. And it may have taken staying up all night and working out where am I feeling stuck, where am I feeling trapped. 3 of Wands twice at the bottom of this deck as well, and then they're getting together, they're shaking hands. There's a contract being made there to move forward, bring our ships in, divinely guided, guardians, looking after, making sure our ships come in, because, you know, everybody on this planet has the right to live and thrive. It's not meant to be strife. If you know, the singer of intuition wanted to fall there. So again, that's high priestess energy, listening to your gut, using your third eye, feeling things out, just feeling it out. The singer of the chalice, again, this is like heart chakra activation. The chalice is number 12, which also wraps up to a 3. The singer of the chalice. With the help of the singer of the chalice and the fairies, you too can get this one feeling that is all good. Feelings in one. Unconditional love, trust, hope, healing, patience, and so on. Open is open. Be open. If you don't know how, ask. The undressing of a salad is absolutely cutting ties with and getting rid of anything that no longer serves us. Thought patterns, people, places, situations. This one, 58, is about our feet. He is cleaning his feet because information is coming in. And it's asking us to take a leap of faith somehow. And it's saying we need to be a little bit grounded in order for us to receive, I've lost it, in order for us to receive this information. So it's being real, earthing, grounding and centering. Breathe, ground, center. If you can't remember how, do this now. Important information is coming your way, but you can only receive it properly if your feet are on terra firma and your head is well connected to the rest of your body. So there are downloads. We have these knights coming in. Knight of Swords, which is clarity. It's news and it's clarity in the mind space, and it's cutting through illusion. And there's also an upgrade there. We also have the Knight of Wands, which again is fast action, movement forward, on fire, could be business, but we need to be grounded, and that's what Temperance is. She is sat on stone. She's so grounded and so focused and pouring, you know, into that cup without even looking. But she has grown really strong boundaries. That's 37, the fairy of the water underneath. Tobias of the waters. And look again, she is just that water is pouring through her hands. Emotion, serenity, meditation, gracefully accepting change. So that's not fighting against it, not fighting against death. Like I said, the death card is overcoming endings and beginnings. Water is mutable, changeable, fluid, and she speaks to us of a particular kind of change of emotions and possibly change in health. We have important choices to make about how we meet those changes and where we let them take us, toward the calm flow and purity of fairy waters or the boiling cauldron of hot temper and steamy emotions. The choice is obvious, but we sometimes forget that we have it. Tobias reminds us that we do have a choice, and making it wisely or unwisely determines our future. The things we need in life remain constant no matter what is going on or how hectic the changes and pressures in our life may be. We need nurturing and love, and it is ultimately up to us to provide that for ourselves. The healing fairies will help us if we ask. Beautiful. I'm going to close with this new pack that I've got called the Divine Circus. Sorry this has been in two parts, a lot of stops and starts and running out of... I'm going to stay patient. I'm going to stay focused. I am not going to let these interferences put me off balance or even get emotionally attached to the frustration of it. So the Divine Circus Oracle cards. Apparently these are rare, but very insightful. Oh, so we've got Quest of Honor, Guest of Honor 22, sorry, Guest of Honor 22. I'm going to read it from the book. This is about walking in, knowing your worth, standing in your worth, being the guest of honor, even if you're on your own. I'm going to hold it that way. There are times to break free from the crowd, to stand alone and have the courage to be the outsider. If you are brave enough to, when you feel like you don't fit in, you gain precious treasure. This is the ability to know who you really are and to learn to love that self. When you are solid in your self-esteem and your self-knowledge, the powers you have developed as an outsider, including different viewpoints and ways of understanding the world, can be brought back to the rest of the world to be shared, which is what the Queen of Wands does. To create a better world for all. It's a bit like a soul version of sharing your holiday pictures with the family after a big adventure, opening up their minds to other worlds and maybe even inspiring them to take their own journey. But if you've spent long enough on the outside of the fringe of life, perhaps leaving people behind, it can take some intention and attention to change course. You might have to become used to being a lone wolf or standing so apart from the crowd that there's no one else around you. That will have served a purpose, but you're invited to shift your ways now from setting yourself apart to returning with that wisdom to share it with others. It means believing you can sail straight past the security guards at the door, straight into the most deliciously wonderful party and into the VIP room at the centre. It's your time for acceptance as a greater level because you are safe. You have learned to accept yourself, so you'll not hand your power over to others as though their approval means more to you than your own self-possession. You can be amongst the crowd and take your rightful place there, yet still be an individual very much at home, belonging and sharing your treasures with others, still exactly who you are in truth. The Oracle of the Guest of Honor brings a message you are going to be offered pride of place in something that matters a lot to you. Accept it. It is your time to feel as though you have been chosen and that you belong. There's a healing trick that comes with these cards. Imagine, visualize or feel or pretend that there's a big invitation before you. And it's on the scroll with fancy lettering and big red wax seal. Open it. It has your name in huge swirling letters on it. It says you are invited. Can you feel excited about this? Happy? Will you accept the invitation? Say this aloud. I belong. I have pride of place. The place that only I can fill. I am one of a kind, and yet I belong to humanity. I am invited to take my place at the feast of life. I accept my invitation and I will partake with relish. Let's party. You have finished your healing trick. The affirmation, say aloud to boost the power of this message and to integrate it into your body, mind and soul. You can say it morning, evening, or for a few days. Every door I wish to open for me does so at the perfect time and in the perfect way. I'm invited to all that life has to offer, and I accept it with joy in my heart. Now we had this one at the bottom of the deck, which I always like to read. It's called the Pixie Pirouette. Now I don't know if you're as old as me and you remember those dolls, but they were always quite sad. This one's by the sea. This is the bottom of the deck, so it's underlining. Within you is an intelligence that helps you adopt and adapt to various life circumstances and situations. You might do this consciously or unconsciously, but the point of any type of adaptation is survival. The Pixie Pirouette card brings you a message. There is more meant for you in this life than merely surviving. You're actually meant to thrive. The Oracle reminds you, thrive most fully, abundantly and deliciously when you are just you. Not the version of you that another may prefer, nor the one that helps you fit into the crowd, but just you. As you have always been. Even if that doesn't seem like enough for some people, it is more than enough for you to have the life that you deserve, that would bring you the most peace, happiness and love. When the oracle of the Pixie Piro comes to you, it's time to get back to the essence of you. It might be time to go back to the things you dreamed about in childhood, or something that really feels like it expresses the true you, that you cast aside for some very logical and sensible reason or other. That might be a talent, a passion or a lifestyle that you are pursuing, or a deep-seated need to create or express yourself through art, clothing, music or dance. It's time to reclaim it. From little dreams and childhood fantasies, a full-grown life purpose can blossom, even if it seems fanciful rather than practical. Don't drop the ball. Give yourself a chance to be and be seen, to live and thrive as the real you. You are you for good reason, not by error, oversight or mistake. Love yourself and let yourself live, thrive, express the original genius of you. Healing trick. Close your eyes and relax for at least 5 inhalations and exhalations. You might like to make the breath flow a little slower and deeper than usual, whilst remaining comfortable and relaxed. You're going to feel, visualize, imagine or pretend that you can sense a child within your heart. That child might be in nature or in a room or in a shining blood red temple of love deep in your heart. Smile at that child. Let there be love in your smile. Let that child know that you are so happy to see him or her, to love and appreciate and spend time with them. That child might have something to show you. It might be a dream, a symbol, something precious to them, or even just a smile. Or perhaps they are sad, angry, frightened and alone. Accept whatever the child wants to show you without judgment. Respond with love, patience, validation and encouragement. Tell that child within, I love you. When you are ready, say aloud, the child within, the original me, just as I was created by universal love to be, guides me to my true destiny. Repeat a few times if it feels more powerful. Is there something you like doing as a child? Playing, reading, drawing, colouring, dancing, singing, painting, cooking, swimming, hugging trees or talking to the birds? Then do that for as long as it feels good. You have finished your healing trick. Affirmation. Say the following affirmation aloud. I am an original, the original me. I am amazing, just as I was designed to be. I love you lots.